In today's Gran Turismo 7 video, we're going to be doing the Deep Forest Raceway, a mission challenge from the Human Comedy set of races. So let's get on with it and let's see how this race is going to play out. So for this race, I decided to pick the Viper GR4 car. Like for races like this, it's good for you to tune down a car. Like what's ideal for you to do is to choose a car that is higher than the required maximum PP value, and then you try to reduce like his power, something like that, within the settings of the car to make it less good, you know? Because if you take a car that's not that good and try to improve it instead, it's probably not gonna be that good of a race car at the end of the day. So my advice for you is choose a car that is about like the PP that the game wants, and then you try to reduce the power. For example, for this one here, it was 620 maximum PP, and this car was 650 or something. So I had to try to make this car reduce like 30 points of power, performance points. I don't know what PP stands for, but I feel like that's what it is. And you can see here from what's going on the screen that it's very nice to have a very better car than what's recommended, for the simple fact that the car is much better. And for these endurance races, usually the first cars are always like way better than yours. Like the opponents at the sharp end of the grid, they have better cars and they start already like a long way ahead of you. So that's another reason why you should take a very good car, even an OP if it's possible, just to ensure that you're gonna get like a chance of winning at all. Because I guess you probably know that these races here, they really don't mess around. They are really OP. The AI at the sharp end of the grid are very good. So yeah, like I was saying, be sure to get a good car. If you want to pick the Viper, it's very good. The problem is that it's an FR car, so the engine is at the front of the car, and it has a rear ride. Like the rear tires are the ones that do the job to accelerate the car. So what ends up happening is that the front tires, since it's like there's a lot of weight in the front of the car, the front tires end up wearing much more than the rear tires. So the issue with this car is that it really consumes a lot of front tires specifically. The rear is manageable, pretty manageable, especially since the car is tuned down, so it doesn't have that much power coming out of the corners. What suffers really is the front tires, since you have to really brake hard, because there are like 2 or 3 big braking points. It's only 2, but even still, you have 2 very hard braking points in the track. So over time, that's gonna hurt your tires, and eventually you're gonna have to make a pit stop just because of that factor, that the car consumes a lot of front tires. Fuel is very manageable as well. you could go the entire race without having to fill up the car easy. But if you want to be sure, you can stop, since you're gonna have to stop anyways because of the tires. Even if you're using the hard tires, you're gonna have to stop. So if you want to stop and put a bit of fuel in, yeah, you can do that as well, just to be sure. And yeah, you're pretty much good to go for this race. You're gonna have to do 38 laps around this circuit, and it's good for you to take note of how many laps you're gonna have to do, just so you save a little bit of fuel and a little bit of tires as well, just so you can make it to halfway through the race and don't have too much difficulties like during, like before and after you stop. Because as you can see here on lap 12, my tires are already pretty much dead, especially the front right. It's very bad at this point. I'm having to sort of save and brake really early because it's wearing way too much, and I still have to do some laps before I stop on the pits. So yeah, at this stage of the race it was a bit difficult, especially since I didn't know what the cars in front were gonna do, like their strategy-ish. I didn't know if they were gonna stop at all, how their tires were, how was the situation of their fuel and stuff. So I was a little bit concerned because I was like already dying. My tires were pretty much dead already, and they were all the time like constantly increasing the gap, like especially the guy in first place. The guy in third wasn't really putting up a gap, but I was more concerned with the guy in first, since I wanted to get first place. I don't care about third or second. I wanted to get first place. That was my goal in this race, and that's what was concerning me quite a bit, was the fact that I didn't know for certain what the heck was going on up in front, because the guy first was really fast. I really don't know how the AI is so good, like sometimes, but once you overtake them, that's the thing with the AI on Gran Turismo. Once you overtake them, they become like completely harmless. They are the slowest AI I've ever seen. But then here, look, starting lap 14, one of the guys in front stopped, the guy in second stopped. A nice drift to destroy my tires here at the first corner. But then I was like, okay, perhaps these guys in front are gonna stop soon. So I was just keeping the pace stable. I was trying not to make any mistakes at all. I even did the best sector of the track on that lap. And here on lap 15, almost halfway through the race, I make a very silly mistake here. I went a little bit wide there at the exit of this corner, and unfortunately I got a half a second penalty, which wasn't much, wasn't really that much, half second, so I wasn't really concerned. But then on lap 16, on the very next lap, I went a little bit wide here on this corner, and then picked up another half a second penalty. which meant that I had to serve 1 second, which would actually lose me a little more than 1 second, because it's never 1 second that you lose during these penalty serving areas. So I decided to just go into the pits because I had lost time there, so I just said, okay, let's stop. My tires were very bad as well, so I just decided to stop. My fuel, as you can see, I had 59%, and we still had like half a race away to go. So my fuel was nice. I feel like I was doing a good job with the fuel management, but I decided to fuel up a little bit, just put like 2% more fuel. The fuel really takes quite a bit of time to go on the car, especially if you use the law. You have to be a long time into the pits, more people stopping, so I was still hoping that the guys in front, first and second, were gonna stop as well soon, especially because they were my main opponents and the ones that I really had to watch for. Here on like the end of lap 21, they finally decided to go into the pits, first and second, and then I was so happy about that happy that I made this huge mistake here, which damaged my car a little bit, but fortunately didn't give me engine damage, so that was a plus. And then the other guys were stopping as well. The ones that were left were yet to pit. Both of them pitted, so I was eventually in first place, and with a good gap to the guy in second place. I had a very safe gap, and then from then on I just kept my lead. And then here on the penultimate lap, my tires were absolutely destroyed, asking for help, about to give up. And at this point my car didn't want to stop, didn't want to turn right, specifically left, didn't want to turn left. So I was very careful. I was braking really early, even though I was braking very early, the car didn't want to stop, even still. So this final lap, I was pretty relaxed, since I had a pretty good gap to the guy in second. So I wasn't really concerned about him. My concern was me making a huge mistake or binning the race completely at the very final lap. So I was driving like I was stepping on eggs, very carefully on the inputs, very careful with the tires. I was trying to save a little bit and at the same time go relatively fast. But then here at the end of the, like approaching the final hairpin here, final big braking point, I was like, it's the final lap, so let's just finish the tire for good. Just use it all right now. So then fortunately I managed to survive this what was hard in this race was like that the car really used a lot of front tires. I think the hardest part about this race was that So then, end of the race. These races are really very good because they give you quite a bit of money, and it's very, yeah, rewarding when you do get first place. So with that, guys, I'll be ending the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you guys to complete this mission. I will be posting more in the future, so stay tuned for that, and leave a like. See you guys on the next video.